facilitator of group here. I'm Nathan Brubaker. I work at Career Tech. I have been in education for, we're moving on 40 years now, I guess. We're moving closer to 40 years than what it has been. I've been at the agency for the last 8 years, and I've been working with OK Career Guide, maybe going on my 3rd year now, working. I noticed John Milroy is part of my audience, and I've been working with him for a while now. He is our liaison at Cooter, and he brings us good news from time to time of changes and everything. And there are changes coming within Galaxy, and while I probably won't dig into those as much today, I do that a little bit more detailed within Galaxy training. Today, we're just going to kind of do a high overview of Galaxy and look at what it is. For those that don't really know anything at all about it or considering it and are interested in going into it. So I'm going to start by just showing a brief video of Galaxy here. So enjoy.
Launch kids into a universe of possibilities with Cooter Galaxy, the career awareness system for pre-K through 5 students. Rooted in Holland theory of vocational choice and grade-specific career readiness themes, students step foot on 6 planets, each representing different work environments. Students will have a blast with Galaxy's interactive games, activities, and videos that help them uncover interests and get excited for the future. Characters like astronauts, aliens, and space creatures promote equity by avoiding stereotypes. Not only that, multiple languages, audio, and a tablet-friendly design make exploration easy. Early career awareness can be rewarding. That's why as students complete each planet, they'll earn badges, creating positive associations about the world of work and the motivation to keep learning. Educators will be over the moon with flexible tools to map content to state or local standards, customize I-statements to keep students on track, and more. Plus, parents are supported too with actionable advice. Helping students shoot for the stars has never been easier with Cooter Galaxy.
I had a question in the chat, if I can post this video in there. Yes, I can. I only have 2 screens here, so it's having to manipulate a little bit.
And Nate, I just put it into the chat too, just so you wouldn't have to search for it.
All righty.
You're welcome.
Very good. Yes, this is out there and easily accessed by anyone who would like to view it. Today, what I hope to go through with you quickly is just kind of a quick overview of what Galaxy is. I mean, you just saw it in a video format there. And Galaxy itself is meant to be just that much fun for the kids. I mean, things to do that they hopefully will hook them and draw them into it. Then we're going to look at the student view. We'll look at support materials. And there's a plethora of support materials out there, both from Cooter and from Career Tech that support it. And then we'll take a look at the administrative side. And like I said, we're not going to go into a lot of detail on any of these. I'm just going to kind of take you there and show you. But early on in the chat, I did put there are trainings coming up the end of this month, and then again in April and May. So if you really want to dig in and find out more about it, then definitely go to the web link there in the chat and look at, let me admit a few more people, sorry. Go to the web link there in the chat and just go to that page. From there, there are hot links that will allow you to sign up for the detailed training where we'll actually make sure that you're in the program so you can start manipulating it from the backside of doing things. Okay. Okay, if you watched John's presentation earlier in the day, he had one this morning that was pre-recorded, and he covered a few things too, just touching upon Galaxy. And I'm going to reinforce some of those things that he talked about there also. But it uses the power of play. It's that video game feel a little bit to hook the kids and just to get them interested. I mean, we're giving things to them that are new and different, but at the same time, we want them to know about different career areas and awareness of things, but we want to do it in a fun way where it doesn't feel like learning. And it does promote equity, but it promotes it in that we're dealing with aliens and space people and on different planets and those type things. So it's one of those where you can eliminate stereotypes and promote equity in that you're not dealing with real people type things. There is lots of support now within the program for teachers. We have different visual aids, PowerPoints, and lesson plans. There is definitely support for the students in there. It is a pre-K through 5th grade, so it goes all the way down to pre-K and up to 5th grade. And now some of the new features are that it does tie over into OK Career Guide. So some of those decisions and things that they're doing within the 4th and 5th grade now can carry over into their career planning and help guide them in that. There are worksheets, badges, mission patches that are available there too. Once again, just fun things to help bring them in, also to continue with that space theme in there. And then of course there's support for parents, information for them, how to ask questions and things to do. It is set up with characters that they actually guide them through each series of planets or each grade level. So at each grade level, they have a different character that would guide them along the way. This serves a couple of purposes in that if I had a special needs student in my class and say we're 5th graders but yeah, he's really not quite on that reading level or that grade level, but yeah, he's there. I can move him back to another grade level. All he sees is a character. He doesn't see anything that says that he's actually working in the 4th grade level. So if you've got special needs students that are having trouble reading at whatever grade level they are initially put in at, this is a thing that can allow them, because they only deal with characters, they don't deal with actual grade levels, that they could move easily through that to meet whatever suits them best as they're working through school itself. But each one has a guide or character that guides them. Then each level or each grade has its own big idea of what's going to happen. And those big ideas are kind of the overarching for the whole grade level that they're on, such as in pre-K, they look at what is work. Moving into kindergarten, what do people do at work? Why do people work? What tools and skills do people use at work? So on and so forth. So these become kind of the overarching goals that they're looking at. Of course, this is all based on John Holland's theory of work environments. And from his work, they came up with 6 basic career or vocational areas that people fit into. What has happened within Galaxy is they've taken those career areas and they've turned them into planets. And within that, there are now 6 planets. And you have the thinker planet, the creators, the helpers, the persuaders, the organizers, and the doers. So when we go back and look at these big ideas on the kindergarten one, we're going to say, what is work? So what is work for a thinker, creator, helper, persuader, organizer, and doer? I'm a doer. I look at those artists and I say, they're just playing. But an artist, they think they're working. That's their work. They need to know that that is work for an artist. They put everything into it. As a doer, I'm looking at those thinkers and they're not doing nothing. Everything's going on in their brain. But to them, they're exploring all sorts of things just in their mind. And same way, from my perspective as a doer, I think these other people, they're not really working. That's not work to me. So it's trying to expand the way they think and feel for doing things. And that happens at each level here as they go through it. They're asking that question for each planet and exploring what that is, and hopefully opening up their horizons to what work looks like in a variety of fields. And part of that is the overall goal of, breaking them out of their own little box, trying to give them a bigger view of the world around them, other than I grew up on the farm, great granddad was a farmer, dad's a farmer. I guess I'm going to be a farmer too. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just going to be a farmer, which there's nothing wrong with being a farmer. But if you don't really like it, you can run the farm into the ground if that's not your calling of doing things. So hopefully being able to see and know that there are other things going on that they can do and work with things. Some of those student opportunities within the program, and we'll go into the program live and look a little bit at it, but there's reading and listening that go along with it, and the program does read to them. It also makes them listen to see what's going on. There's videos within it. There's a game within everyone. There's questions that they have to answer that are being asked of them. Badges and mission patches. They learn a badge for every planet that they go through and complete. At the end of all 6 planets, they can get a mission patch that shows they've completed all 6. There are worksheets / color sheets, as well as other activities they can do for each planet, before and after and during. And then there are I statements and documents that can be captured to show that they know things or they've done things within that. Administrators and teachers, as well as counselors, your support is you can add in I statements in there, and we'll kind of look at that a little bit. There's mass upload of students, which means it's easier to get students into the system. There's academic standards. And with Oklahoma, it's a nice thing, but with Oklahoma, that is double work at sometimes. So it's there. And in training, we go into how that works, but that may be something that you might not use within the system, because it could end up being double work the way you do report standards with the State Department of Ed. There's different progress reports that are available, and now there's even more coming out. But these are just a few here: school progress, classroom, student progress. You can create groups and put them in classrooms. There are several downloadable resources, and we're going to look live at some of those things that are available, along with lesson plans and databases, occupational database. Oops. Sorry. I go over to let somebody in and I lose my track here. There is support for parents here, and the parents don't have to have a login. This is something from the login page they can go to. And without a login, at the very bottom, there's a place for parents, and it says they can log in. They don't have to log in. They just click on that and it'll take them inside, and it'll give them all the goals and objective, every grade level, every planet, as well as things to ask and do with their students. Now, this is fabulous information, but the chances of parents getting there, of course, you always have parents that are on top of everything and are going to do that, but a lot of them are busy, and that's not going to be the top of their priority, is to go in and do that. So one of the things that has been done is that stuff for each planet has been pulled out and put on the back of their worksheets that they do, so that as they take home that coloring or work that they've done and becomes refrigerator art, on the very back of that are the questions they can ask, or the things that they can do, along with the goals and objectives for that planet that they worked on. And I'm going to apologize. I'm not following the questions here, so I will try to come back here in just a second and get to that.
And Nate, I'll do my best to answer people's questions in there, so you don't have to, if something comes up I don't know, I'll maybe say it out loud, but
Okay.
trying the best to at least do something in the chat for you.
Thanks, John. You're the best. I'll say
Thank you.
nice things about you from now on.
Thanks, Nate.
There is support. There's lots of support. I myself am the main person at Career Tech for this, but we also have AJ Kroll and Latoya Miller, both there. They also can answer questions about this. But the best thing that we have is the Cooner client engagement, and they are there from the 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Call them. They are more than happy. We call them sometimes during training because they can answer questions we don't know. And so they are right there. And of course, you always need help when we're tied up doing other things. So that's why they're there. So you can call them and get immediate help back from them. Questions at this point? John, anything that I need to answer?
I don't think so. I know there was one question they asked if this is a cost, and let them know this is available for really anybody in the state.
Exactly. This is
public.
free.
Yeah, public, private, career tech. If you're homeschooling or anything, it's available for anybody.
Exactly. It's open to everybody in Oklahoma. So if they're in school one way, fashion, or form, even if it's homeschool, we've got a place for you in there, and we can get you hooked up and signed into that. All righty. So next I want to not do that. We're going to go to Galaxy and sign in. This is what the page looks like. Now it has here, log in with Clever. This morning, John talked a little bit about Clever within OK Career Guide. It's also available within Galaxy here to use as a sign-in, which for elementary kids, depending on how young they are, that could be a very good thing as far as doing things. One of the unique things for putting students in is they all need a unique email address. And of course, making things unique with younger elementary students is a good way to forget what that uniqueness was. So, but that can be done very easily. And we go into details within our training on how to set that up. The simple thing though is the entire school can have the same password. So in signing up and creating with your students, while the email is unique, password can be the same for the whole school. So we'll go in and look at my
Glad to see you
student
again.
account.
Let's get you back on the planet where you left off.
Now, first thing you notice right away is it speaks to you. And it speaks to, well, I've got mine up loud, but it speaks to you pretty loud. So you got to have headphones. It's, you know, I've been in a classroom where this started up and none of the headphones were plugged in, and it's every computer immediately starts talking. So yes, they have to have headphones and they need to have them on. Now with the upper grades, one of the things you can do is take away the headphones and turn off the talking, which can be done up here in the menu. Disable the audio and you can push them to read and make them read more of what's going on rather than having it speak to them. Okay, this is where you end and start your missions. Here is in the base station. This is our character here for this grade level. And so the only thing that changes is our guide or character that's with each grade level. At the top, we see our planets. One of the things that the students can't do is jump from planet to planet. They have to follow them in order there. These are the mission patches that they will get as they complete a planet and do things there. This is also where they get to their I statements, the occupation database, and at this grade level, because this is the fourth grade, or no, this is third grade. This is where they get to the Holland Guide also. This is only the third grade, yeah. So, questions about student view. I'm not going to go through the whole planet here with you. Okay. All right, next, I'm going to take you and show you some of the support material. Now, on we'll see another place for support material when we get to the admin side, but all that material has been pulled out and placed on our learning management system, which we affectionately called ctyu.org or CTU. It is basically our Moodle site. And while there is a login for it, you don't need it for Galaxy materials or for OK Career Guide materials. Just scroll down the page, find our course, which is Counseling and Career Development. Clicking on it, it'll open up and you have OK Career Guide curriculum and you have Galaxy curriculum. Tomorrow I will be doing a session and going in depth into all the different things that are located on this site here as far as curriculum that's available for you to use. And within the it shouldn't make me log in. When we have the actual training, I will go a little more in depth into the curriculum itself, but it's laid out by grade level here. And then I can just click on one, and within it, these are all the different things, PowerPoints, worksheets, everything that's available here, as well as there's some posters in here and other materials available. There are lesson plans to go along with the planet. And then let me find another one that's got Cooter lesson plans. Grades 1 through 5 also have Cooter lesson plans, which are pre and post planet lesson plans that are available, and they stretch from 15 to 20 minutes for each. They're kind of a warm-up thing that can be done to get them ready, and then kind of a after it's over, now let's talk about what we just did type things. So those are available there, along with the other lesson plans here that are to be used during the planet while they're going through it. And then just other support material for the teachers are all located here. So like I said, we go into detail with that when we do our actual training. But once again, all this is free. And the best part about this is I scroll to the bottom of the page, I click one button, and it all downloads to your desktop so that you can sort out and you become the owner of what I'm going to use, what I'm not going to use. Okay, I'm going to sign in now to the back side and show you a few things on the back side of it. Excuse me. Now, when you sign in or you go through training, we'll assign you to your school if you're not already in there. Usually within each school, the counselor or the principal has already been put in there, as well as the superintendent has been put in on the district level, so that when you sign in, you will sign in just to your school. I'm signing in as me, and I'm coming in at the state level, so I see all the schools in here. But within my district for career tech here, I have 2 schools. And then there's this menu on the left-hand side here, and this is where all your work gets done. Unlike OK Career Guide, where it is more student-driven, in Galaxy, it is teacher and school-driven, whereas the students have to be uploaded to the system before it works, whereas in OK Career Guide, a student can go in and make their own account at any time. Not so here. They have to be put into the system. Same way with teachers, they have to be put in so that classes can be formed. Administrators have to be put in and all that. So it is not as straightforward for the user until they are put into the system. So, and Admins, like I said, they have to be added as they are needed in there. Usually you have somebody already there, but depending on when we put them in, which was 3+ years ago, some of those admins have changed even. And then students, like I said, there's a mass upload for students. We go into detail of what that looked like and how that's done within the training. At this level, the superintendent's level, he has one report here, which looks at the different schools and the percentages per grade level, as well as the overall percentages. Academic standards, like we said, we'll go into that, is here, but they can be tracked here, and I'll show you how that's done during training if you come to training. I statements, the system has 6 I statements per grade level, and they have been researched and put in there based upon what the student should be able to do at that grade level. So those I statements are already in there, but it doesn't keep you from adding more. You might have a difficult second grade class that they need a simple I statement of, I will keep my hands to myself and not scream at the other students. So you can add I statements in that would fit what you need either for a grade level or for an entire school. And then from every view, you can look at student view. This is a kind of a nice little thing that from the backside, if I'm going to be teaching a lesson for the first grade and I'm going to be on the artistic planet and I don't remember what the game is, I can click on those, and it'll take me right there and I can experience the game and see how it works. Of course, there are downloadable resources here. All of those are also on the CTU, along with lesson plans are here. They are also on the CTU. Holland Guides here, database, and as always, ways to contact Cooter for different things. Go look into the school here. That's from the district view. When I go down to my school, it opens up. I see administration here and teachers. I also have classrooms available that I can see. Students again here. This is where I start getting more reports that I can pull out. Principals report, activity report, planet, game, I statement. So a little bit more in reports here. And coming soon, middle of this month, should be able to print out those reports and have them in hard copy or digital copy at least. And then the rest of it down is pretty much the same going through there. Questions? Question?
Nate, there was one from Micah. I answered in the chat, but maybe you have just a different point of view. She had asked, what is the counselor or teacher's role in this after the students sign in? Can it be completely student-led where they can just do it on their own? But I didn't know if there's something that you wanted to add or talk about in your trainings.
Basically, their role is just the guiding and it becomes more of the discussion of what they've done with that and keeping track. It is set up so that if I'm an upper grade level, third, fourth, and fifth grade teacher, they have a report that they can download, which looks like this in the teacher's login, where maybe I'm not doing it as a total classroom function together, where they're not all working together on it. Instead, I'm working at a center. And so with this, it allows me to look at the report, see what ones have done what, and then who needs to rotate into the center and do the career activities within the career activity center type thing. So that's just an option that's available to it. As far as logins from the admins here, if I'm setting them up in classrooms so that the teacher can observe and keep track of who's done what or something like that to create a classroom, they have to be in as a teacher to be put into a classroom. The administrator / counselor, they aren't an option to be added to a classroom. So if you as a counselor want to be in the classroom also and see what's happening in the classroom outside of reports over here, you can make yourself another account and then be placed in the classroom. Another thing to do is also, if you are doing it as a group, maybe in the library or a computer room and you have a computer person or a librarian, you can make them a teacher and add them in there too, just so they can sign in and help a student if they need to, or redo a password or something like that. So that's the difference in roles that they play. You have 3 levels of roles within Galaxy.
And I think you maybe mentioned it too, but I know that for an admin role that you could imitate like a student. So if Nate was doing something in the R planets and he was doing a game, that you could go in and kind of see what that game is, so you can get a little bit of feedback on it. And then if they had questions, you would essentially know what they were looking at because you'd have that view yourself.
And really, to effectively do the lesson and teach a lesson with them, you need to have gone through and, I mean, as a teacher myself and have done things, you need to do it yourself, or at least see what they're supposed to be doing before just letting them loose in it. Because I've witnessed this already in Galaxy. I mean, if you just cut them loose, nothing ahead of time, nothing during or nothing going on, they're going to race through it, because you can just kind of click through it and it's like rodeo. I'm done, and they've done it and they're moving on, or they're skipping through to go from game to game to game on each planet and not paying attention to anything else that's in there. So that's part of the lesson plans, are to kind of give them a little more meaning to what they've just done and everything. So any other questions? I'm going to probably finishing up early here. That's pretty much here. Like I said, if you scroll to the top of the chat, there is the place on our website. Our web page's link there. And so you can go in there and sign up for training. If you are looking at this for a school, you can contact us and we will be glad to set up a training for an entire school. Or if you just want an impromptu before or at a different time than what we have it listed there, give us a call. We'd be glad to set something up. Any other questions? Well, let me take this time to thank John, our CUDA representative, for helping me in the chat. And thank you for joining us today.
One thing I would point out, so I know there's probably some people on the Hoover side of things, but if they wanted to get like a test account, Nate, and mess with it themselves before they did anything with their school, how do you want them to have like test accounts, and how would you have that?
For anybody that's gone through training, I give them student accounts that are within my school that they can just play and go through the different grade levels and play with how to do that. Once they've done training, they do that. And if they've done training, then by the time they've left training, they're already in on the admin side. So they can play through that direction too.
Okay.
But happy to hand out and make students out of my fake school to get more data in my fake school. So thank you. Any other questions? If not, enjoy your afternoon. And I think we've got one more session. And you've got time to make a bathroom break.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Yep, bye-bye.